Howdy, fuckheads! This should go without saying due to the fact that I quite literally have the warning sign right behind me, but this channel is not intended for persons under the age of 18. This is due to the fact that there tends to be cussing in these videos, and there also tends to be, depending on the mood we're in, excessive violence. I personally don't care how old you are, but the YouTube algorithm does, and I personally am not in the mood to be a parent for people who are too lazy to look after their children. That being said, enjoy the video. Greetings, my fellow fanatics of the world. You are speaking with Gfanatic 94, back with another video for you all today, joined by my man, the myth, the legend, the Iron Noah.
Hello, 2025! Let's hope today is an actual spectacular year. Please, I'm freaking begging!
Yeah. Well, in all honesty, dude, if 2025 goes anything like 2024 did for cinemas, we got some good things coming.
Yeah, I hope.
Yeah. But in all honesty, dude, today's video might get us a little bit of heat because, brother, starting off the first video of the year and we're already delving into a somewhat slightly controversial topic.
See, with this, I think we're only gonna get heat from one side of the spectrum, because you know how they are.
Yeah, well, you know, we won't speak about the undesirables. However, yes, today we are going to be comparing one of the biggest rivalries slash bombs of the box office of last year in 2024. The debacle between Sonic 3 and Mufasa.
Live and learn! Living on the edge of tomorrow! Live and learn! I fucking love that song.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's continue.
And yeah, dude, I'm gonna go ahead and lay out the ground rules, for this. What we're basically gonna be doing is we're gonna be quickly talking about both movies. Talking about, because you and I have both seen these movies. So we're gonna be talking about both of these movies, and we're gonna be talking about, which one we prefer, and which one, where we think that the one that is worse out of the two could have done better. So, which one do you want to talk about first, Noah? Sonic 3 or Mufasa?
Let's get the cat out of the bag.
The cat. Okay. Well, I wasn't expecting that, but okay.
Yep.
Alright, now let's get the gifts up.
This is the side that we're gonna get heat on. We both know that.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Oof, yeah, you're right, because Disney are kind of liars. Sure, you can say you're the #1 movie in the world, but you can't be saying #1 movie in America when we both know that's a lie!
They were both lies, bro!
Even then, they had some leeway for the whole globe thing. Sonic 3 didn't release worldwide,
yeah.
So...
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. But,
anyways,
yeah, so, Mufasa. What really can we say about this movie that is not going to piss some people off? So, see, the thing about it is that, by the way, spoiler warning, in case that wasn't obvious, but the thing about last year is that everyone who watched Sonic 3 and the fact that Mufasa was failing at the box office compared to Sonic 3 got everyone on the fucking internet, which I'm willing to bet 90% of these people never even watched Mufasa. I'm willing to bet that because of the simple fact that despite the fact of Mufasa's reputation, it's really not a bad movie. It's not at all.
And honestly, I'd agree. However, it has more than a few issues.
Yes, it does have some issues, but once again, I will say this until the day I die. No movie has ever been, nor will any movie ever be, perfect. And again, people need to get that shit out of their minds that just because a movie isn't perfect doesn't mean it's absolute garbage. So, Noah, where do you think that the Mufasa movie failed?
Honestly, I think it failed because it was trying too hard.
Okay.
Because one, they are doing so much stuff to say, "Oh, hey, like it's Mufasa. Come relive the tale. Come live the tale of how Mufasa became king. Hey, look, Timon and Pumbaa. Hey, look, more Timon and Pumbaa. Hey,
Yeah.
it's Timon and Pumbaa."
Yeah, and honestly, I wouldn't have minded Timon and Pumbaa if they were genuinely funny, but they weren't. They weren't
And
funny at all.
also,
Like they were funny on a childish level, which, to be fair, this movie is clearly geared towards kids. But still, I just
yeah, even then, bro, I've seen children's comedies and that shit slaps sometimes. This just
yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong there. So, yeah, one of the biggest issues that I had with the movie was the fact that Timon and Pumbaa were, like, they just weren't funny. And I don't understand, because, like, they were funny in The Lion King 2019. So, why the fuck can't they do something similar with them here? Like, that just didn't sit right with me. And I'm sorry, but you motherfuckers raised Simba, essentially, and then y'all are gonna call him a pathological liar, and Walt's at the same time lying about you guys taking down Scar? Like, what the fuck are you guys saying?
see, I knew they were jokesters and comedians, but I never really pictured them as liars.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Like
then
they're
you
hella
watch the fucking
dramatic, yeah, but like not
yeah.
liars.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a spot that I personally felt as though this movie just didn't land on. But now,
Yeah, I wouldn't even say they landed on anything. Honestly, they just missed by a whole fucking global margin.
yeah. Yeah, no, they couldn't hit the Timon and Pumbaa's humor could not hit the broadside of a fucking barn. Like I found Rafiki funnier than Timon and Pumbaa, which should not be a thing I'm allowed to fucking say.
Actually, well, you know, you can say that Rafiki was he was quite a jokester, man. Honestly, back in
Oh,
even in the
Rafiki.
original.
Yeah, but Timon and Pumbaa were still funnier than him in the original.
Oh yeah, but yeah, still.
That's the whole point of Timon and Pumbaa's character is to be comic relief, and when the comic relief isn't doing its job, then you failed. Like, I don't know how else to put it.
Yeah.
But now, Noah, I would like to ask you. Well, not ask you, but I would like to bring up a topic that so far seems to be the only topic you and I really disagree on with this movie, and that's the villain of the movie, Kyros.
Honestly, he just doesn't seem memorable in any sort of least. That's my problem with it. He just doesn't seem memorable.
Well, to your credit, like you brought up earlier before we started recording this movie, that probably might have been different if it was 2D animated.
Oh, most likely, because bro, like I'm saying this, and I'm 100% sure that's just a fact. Because with 2D animation, they could have gotten away with so much more characterization. Let's take okay, this might be sounding like, oh, I'm one of those old guys that like, oh, no, Sonic, buddy, Lion King, better on joke. But honestly, nobody's wrong in that case. Everyone remembers the "to be prepared" from Scar,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Everyone loved
Everyone
the
and their
visuals
mother
too.
remembers how much more like intimidating slash conniving Scar seemed in the original movie.
Yeah, and everybody also loved the visuals. The
Mm-hmm.
visuals also helped so much in making that shit so memorable. Even with
Amen, brother.
I Just Can't Wait to Be King, even that had such beautiful visuals too.
Yeah.
Like a thing that helps it making something memorable is not only the audio but the visuals of something,
Yeah.
which Kiros unfortunately lacked to have. In which case, making them just hey, it's that white lion again. Wait, fuck, what was his name?
Kyros.
Yeah, and the best thing he had going for him is just a somewhat catchy song being "Bye Bye."
Yeah. I knew you were gonna bring that up.
I mean, I'll admit it's catchy, but it's not the best song in the movie.
Yeah.
I honestly like the To Be Brothers more,
Yeah.
which
But
it was.
unfortunately, brother, I do have to kind of disagree with you there because I kind of liked Kyros as a villain. Like genuinely, I really liked him as a villain. And to be fair, I am going to say this: I might have liked Kyros as a villain more because I do prefer villains who are just evil for the sake of being evil over villains who are evil because they had a tragic backstory and snurf. Yeah, nobody fucking cares. Just because you had a tuna fish sandwich shoved up your ass as a 12-year-old doesn't mean you can go burn down a fucking orphanage.
Which honestly, I get. Why do you think everybody loves Jack Horner so much?
Yeah! And Scar King.
Oh yeah.
Fuck
Oh.
yeah! Yeah! You bet. You bet comparing Kyros to some of the better villains of last year, you bet I was gonna bring up Scar King. There's no fucking chance about that. There's no chance of avoiding that.
Yeah. I mean, bro, Jack Scar King. Oh my god, if he was charged for war crimes.
Motherfucker was a dictator and a slave owner. Charged for war crimes, that would be the least of his shit.
Let's bring the maniacal monkey out of this. Let's just have him out.
Yeah. Let's get back to the lions. Which were good.
Yeah. Back to the kitty litter.
Back to the kitty litter. See, you're funnier than Timon and Pumbaa.
And that shouldn't be right.
Yeah.
All right. The ending of that movie was honestly actually got me squealing a bit because who showed up?
Yes.
Hey, yo, wee Baba Kion.
Yes. And well, they didn't hold on. Did they officially name him, or was he just?
No, he didn't say anything, nor did they name drop him. Pretty sure that he literally was just born.
Okay, well then, yeah, I'm gonna assume it's Kion because either that or they might do the Koba storyline or some shit like that. Which, considering how different the live-action versions of the Lion King movies seem to be from the animated series and the animated movies, I'm kind of cool with that. But
Yeah. Again,
but if it is Kion, then fuck yeah, I'm all there for it. For those who don't know who Kion is, he is the main protagonist of, one of the main protagonists of the series from Disney called The Lion Guard.
The Lion Guard.
Yes, one of the few good productions that Disney was actually responsible for in the last 10 years. But we're getting off topic.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some of the good things of Mufasa, alright? Let's talk about the brighter aspects of this movie. First of all, something that a lot of people were complaining about that I personally don't have a problem with is the fact that it's a musical.
It's Disney.
How are you
for being a musical?
Yeah. Why the fuck are people complaining about musicals when I can list 7 musicals off the top of my head just from Disney alone that were instant fucking classics. Snow White, fucking Beauty and the Beast. We got no, Shrek was not Disney. Oh, I'm a fucking idiot. Okay.
I mean, he had musical numbers, I'll tell you that, but
yeah. But guys, it's a fucking kids movie. It's more than okay for them to have some musical numbers. I will admit, the pacing seems to be a bit off because of the musical numbers, but I honestly didn't really have a problem with it.
Yeah,
Like seriously, I think that's the only real impact to the overall story that the musical numbers actually seem to have was the pacing of the film. So that's really the only real problem with the musical numbers in this movie is that it kind of impacted the flow of the story.
Which I get, yeah, but why the fuck are y'all still even complaining about that? Like, please, it's a fucking Disney movie.
Yeah.
It's like
and I'm sorry, but how many musical numbers are there in the original Lion King?
Hold on. I can name them. We got,
oh, please do.
we got the Circle of Life. I just can't wait to be king. Be prepared. Hakuna Matata.
Yes. One of the most iconic
songs from that.
Yeah, one of the most iconic songs ever to come out of Disney. Hakuna Matata.
Can you feel the love tonight?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Oh, and then we got another Circle of Life at the end. We got six different points in the movie with music.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, but y'all complaining about it being a musical, just shut the fuck up. It's a kids movie, and it doesn't have a problem. Like, just because you have... Okay, I'm gonna say this once, right now. Having problem with musicals is not a problem with the movie. That's a problem with your preference in movie. That's an opinion. That's not a fucking flaw with the film itself. Okay? So, half of the fucking people that I've seen complaining about this movie online, most of their biggest complaints about this movie were the complaint I'm bringing up now, the fact that it was a musical, and another complaint that we're going to be talking about here in a minute. So, yeah, I don't want to hear it. Not liking musicals is a personal problem, not a film problem. Okay, that's not up for discussion or debate. That's just a fact of life that it's a preference thing, and you don't get to say that it's a bad movie just because it's got songs in it. Then again, these are the exact same people who will sit there and say that, oh, Has Been a Hotel is a bad series because they have so many songs in it. Shut up.
I'm honestly, bro, I'm pretty sure they're the same people that say, oh, this movie's bad because it has big monsters when it's a kaiju movie.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, dude, you knew what you were going into when you walked into the theater. Why the fuck are you complaining when you got what you paid for?
It's like saying, oh, there should have been more humans in a kaiju movie that's advertised to be a solely kaiju movie. Like, the fuck?
Yeah.
Yo, he's like, hey, where's my humans at? Get these stupid big monsters out of my screen.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I honestly can't say it better, bro.
Oh, okay, well, let's get on to the other topic before this gets too heated, because we're definitely gonna be on this for who knows how long.
Yeah.
There's
now onwards to another thing that is honestly a good thing that people are also complaining about. The origin of Taka's scar, which also led to his name. How the fuck is this a retcon? Seriously, like, okay, one of the complaints that I've heard about in this movie is that it retconned the film, is that it retconned the continuity. How exactly did it retcon the continuity?
Yeah, what continuity? Because we all know this specific movie is a prequel, a sequel to the 2019 movie, not the 1994 one.
Exactly. And it's like, okay, so, and if people are going to say that the way Scar got his scar is the retcon, then I'm sorry, but no. There's actually I think there's 3 different origin stories for how Scar got his scar before this movie was even a fucking concept. So
And
that is not a valid complaint.
I got my scar.
Yeah.
Back when I led the guard.
But now, I do want to talk about another good thing in this movie that other people were also complaining about. That was primarily one of the reasons people hated this movie. Mufasa himself. Noah, please word it the same way you did before we recorded this video.
Why the fuck are people blaming Mufasa? Why?
Dude, I don't understand, like, how the, like, okay, why are people complaining about Mufasa when the motherfucker literally did nothing wrong? The reason why Taka, who ended up becoming Scar, fucking, like, betrayed them was because of the influence of his dad, and was because of the fact that he was a fucking teenager, and I'm sorry, but if you're a fucking teenager and your hormones aren't fucked up, then there's something wrong with you. And the simple fact of the matter is that Scar, while yes, he did, like, betray his friends, he, like, and personally, I kind of didn't like that part of the movie because, it was, what are you playing?
Yeah. I'm so sorry, bro. I'm getting a call.
Oh. Okay. Alright, well, while Noah's muted there, I'm gonna go ahead and get back to what I was saying. One of the issues of The Lion King that I had that I'm not gonna take points off for was the fact that Scar's turn to the dark side and then turn back to the light side felt a bit forced. It felt like they really just made him a villain at the spur of the moment just because, you know, he's a fucking... just because they had to establish, oh, he's gonna become evil in the future. But honestly, that wasn't really a problem with the movie, that was more just a problem with my perspective on it. So I'm not gonna take points off that for it, but seriously, y'all are gonna sit here and blame Mufasa for Scar's turn to the dark side when when Taka is essentially a fucking, is essentially a confused teenager who has lost everything in his fucking life and had the wrong influence from his dad? That is not fucking fair. That is not fair at all in the slightest, and frankly, that's just fucking childish. And more so than that, I liked Mufasa in this movie because I can fucking relate to the guy. Mufasa is straight up a motherfucker that reminds me of me, myself, at a younger age.
Anyways, I'm back. What'd I miss?
I just talked about what you and I talked about before we recorded and mentioned how Mufasa reminds me of me as at a younger age.
Oh, yeah. And also, bro, Mufasa, he was a homie for real.
Yeah, Mufasa was trying to fucking hook Taka up with Sarabi.
Don't fucking blame Mufasa for taking her. Sarabi herself genuinely saw more interest in Mufasa. Even though
it's not Mufasa's fault that she had the fucking hots for him. And I'm sorry, but that whole scenario was gonna fall apart the second when there was 3 horny teenagers, 2 of them were males, and 1 of them was a female. Okay? That whole situation was gonna go awry the second that scenario came about. And I don't give a fuck what anyone's gonna say. You introduce 2 males and 1 female, all 3 of them are teenagers and all 3 of them are horny, there's going to be some contention amongst the group.
Honestly, bro, I don't even think fucking Mufasa's hormones were active during that time. Like, bro was just waiting, trying to honestly keep them alive. That was his main
You know
priority.
what? Fair enough, and that just adds even more credence to the fact that Taka should have been that Mufasa shouldn't be blamed for Taka's turn to the dark side. That should not be a fucking thing, man.
And genuinely too, that also gives credit to Sarabi because she wasn't stupid enough to fall for everything. She figured shit out on her own.
Yeah. Yeah, and then totally
honestly,
fucking these people want to sit there and say that, oh well, women and minorities aren't getting enough representation in movies lately. First of all, yes they are, and second of all, you guys literally just fucking ignored the fact that Sarabi was smart enough to be like, something's off here. He's acting a bit on the goofy side, and he was talking to his brother a few minutes ago. Let's go talk with him.
And also,
What? So y'all are pissed that Sarabi isn't a dumb fucking bitch who just falls for the first man that fucking nuzzles up to her like a fucking slut?
yeah, and honestly, this is probably what some of the most characterization of Sarabi we've gotten in.
Yeah.
Yeah, in general. Which honestly, it's another point to the movie. This is one of the most characterizations for Sarabi yet.
Yeah. Straight the fuck up, dude. You ain't kidding.
Because we already got, we already know how Mufasa is and shit. Like, we know that man. We know him. Sarabi,
Yes.
we didn't really get much of her even in the original.
Yeah.
So yeah, honestly, that's another point to Mufasa. Fuck.
Yeah. Now, I do want to ask you something, Noah. There's one last thing I want to talk about before we start talking about Sonic 3. So, before I move on to my last point, is there anything you want to talk about?
Okay. Honestly, this is gonna be going in more of the favor for Mufasa, because another thing I liked myself was the creation of Pride Rock.
Okay, alright.
Literally a whole ass gift from the earth itself saying, alright, let's see, we got a battle going on over here. Create a small teensy wincy earthquake. Right, Rafiki? Yeah, you asked for a teensy wincy earthquake? Here you go, bruh. Here you go. I don't know why, I just find that funny how this whole ass earthquake created Pride Rock.
Well, it was a battle of destiny, brother. It was a battle of destiny, and whoever was gonna win was it was gonna decide the fate of the continent for fucking decades to come.
And also, I will say, a lot of the can we even call it references when it's just homages and preludes to the whole thing? Of, you know, every time Taka saved Mufasa in that certain hole.
Yeah. That was fucking awesome, dude. Cause like everyone in the theater, I remember vividly. Cause for those who in case it wasn't obvious, I watched both of these movies in theaters. Noah watched Sonic 3 in theaters and watched Mufasa on Onion Plays.
I watched that shit. I watched that shit 3 times.
Yeah. But yeah, so where was I going with that?
Oh yeah, the audience reaction.
Yeah, the audience in the theater. Every single time Scar had Mufasa in that fucking claw hold, everyone was just sitting there thinking, oh no, is he already gonna betray him? They just met each other. And like later in the movie when he pulled Mufasa out of the water after Mufasa killed Kiros, fucking everyone was all nervous and shit thinking that, oh, is he gonna do it here? And no, he never did it, because these two genuinely were brothers, even if they weren't bound by blood.
Also, speaking of, after that, I'm pretty sure Mufasa was so angry the fact that Taka did still kind of betray them, but he still loved them as a brother.
Yeah, he basically told everyone which, by the way, love the fact that I kind of like the name Milele more than the Pride Lands, but that's just a preference for me. I love the fact that Mufasa essentially told everyone, like, hey, if y'all got a problem with my brother, you got a problem with me. He's allowed to stay here as long as I'm here, so, you know.
Which did unfortunately come bite him in the ass.
Yeah.
But, you know. But it still goes to prove to how much Mufasa still genuinely loved his brother.
Uh-huh.
Even if they weren't bound by blood.
Yes, which is another thing that we're going to be talking about in another video later because of a certain movie about transforming robots. But that's off topic.
You know, I was about to go into. I was about to start singing. I genuinely was. Transforming! Okay, you know, I'm gonna. Okay, go ahead. Continue. I slapped myself. Yeah,
Well,
go ahead.
that's the that's not the thing. But is there anything else you want to talk about? Because, like I said, there's only one more thing I want to talk about with this movie before Sonic 3.
Nope. Go right ahead, man.
Brother, Rafiki. Rafiki. 10 out of fucking 10 with Rafiki's character and the actor who portrayed him. That was priceless. Alright? I fucking
You know,
loved Rafiki in this movie, and it was perfect.
you know what's another good thing about him? His voice acting worked so well that he genuinely sounded like the '94 Rafiki.
Mm-hmm.
Like his younger self genuinely sounded like the classic Rafiki from the OG Lion King.
Yes, it did, and I'm all there for it, man. And brother,
And I just
the icing on the cake is the fact of just how they introduced him. Like how they introduced him and how like Mufasa, Taka, and Sarabi all met this motherfucker. Um, it was the funniest thing in the world because again, in the theater, you could hear everyone in the theater's reactions to when these three first encountered Rafiki. Rafiki's just walking along, doing his thing, and then Mufasa, Taka, and Sarabi start, like, trying to intimidate him. Like, hey, we're gonna eat you and shit. And, like, hey, like, they were trying to hunt him. And Rafiki just keeps walking along without a care in the world. At one point, he even lays down just to fuck with him. And I kid you not, bro. Everyone in the fucking audience, like, no one specifically, like, spoke out, but everyone was laughing and shit because the fans, we know what Rafiki's capable of. We know that if Rafiki wanted to, he could whoop all three of their asses. We know for a fact that they don't want to mess with Rafiki, but they're kids and this is the first time they've met him, so they don't know what Rafiki's capable of. But everyone in that theater was sitting there saying no. Well, not saying, but everyone in that theater, I guarantee you, was thinking the exact same thing. No, no, you don't want to mess with Monkey Bruce Lee. You don't want to mess with Monkey Bruce Lee. No, don't do it.
Oh, bro, Rafiki was genuinely a joy. Oh.
Rafiki was priceless. So yeah, dude. I mean, and we're not going into a full-on review of this movie, but if you had to give this movie a rating, what would you give it?
Honestly, this is
Keep in
probably
mind, when we do a full review of this movie later on down the road, this may change.
maybe, yeah. Honestly, it's not a bad movie, yeah, but again, it still has a lot of flaws, and there are movies I would prefer over it, so honestly, I'll give it. Oh wow, is this gonna be one of my lowest scores yet? Yeah, it's 6 out of 10.
You know, fair enough, brother. And I honestly am right there along with you. I was going to rate this movie a 6 out of 10 as well. Because, whereas, yes, the movie does have flaws, and the movie does leave you wanting more a little bit, and there are some scenes that just feel forced as fuck. It just ultimately it's not a bad movie, and what they did here with this film was not bad. And it just sucks because the simple fact that this is one of the first times this is one of the first times that Disney has genuinely made a movie that wasn't overly political in the last 10 fucking years. And it's like, this movie isn't even going to get recognition for that because everyone fucking hated it for no good reason. Well, not no good reason, but everyone hated it despite the fact that it genuinely wasn't bad.
Wanna know another fun thing, bro?
What?
I watched another guy's review on this, and wanna know what the main thing was?
What?
He was disappointed that it wasn't dog shit.
Oh! I mean,
Because
that's a way to put it.
he was disappointed that it wasn't dog shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, I do not know how to say this, but before I play the Sonic 3 section for y'all, I do have to say that there will be a follow-up video to this video because of the simple fact that 3 hours after Noah and I recorded this video, Disney did some more stupid PR bullshit again that they thought was going to make Mufasa be received better, but that it only made Mufasa received even worse. Disney just can't stop making stupid fucking decisions, and I will be making a follow-up video to this because unfortunately when I recorded this video I did not slander Disney nearly enough. And holy fuck do I genuinely feel fucking dumb for ever even defending Disney in any way. So yeah, with that being said, just watch the Sonic 3 section and be on the lookout for a video later today as well. Ladies and gentlemen, Sonic 3.
Live and learn! Living on the edge of tomorrow! Live and learn!
How long were you holding that in?
I went to watch it 3 times. 3 times for the 3rd movie. I fucking love this film. Oh my god.
Yeah. Alright, so after we're done talking about Sonic 3, we're gonna do a full-on comparison of these two and just explain exactly why Mufasa failed, whereas Sonic 3 succeeded. First of all, dude, name a few things, if any, that you personally think that they should have done better with Sonic 3, if any. Because, personally, I didn't see any problems with Sonic 3. At least not on the surface.
This is just a... Okay, for this, I feel like there are some scenes that do not need comedy.
Yeah, yep.
That's honestly one of the only things that's making it... It's just, that's the only thing that's dragging it down sometimes. There's some scenes that did not need comedy, just had comedy, which... I get it, it's a family movie. Yeah, it's just a bit too much here and there.
Just a little bit of a problem with the contrast consistency. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. And yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough, dude. Now, let's ask something here. What's your favorite part of this movie? Because I already can tell you mine. And no, it's not Shadow, believe it or not.
Okay, let's see. Let me pick point. Let me. Well, we are allowed to say spoilers and shit, right?
Oh yeah, we're way past the spoiler warning. All right, spoiler warning. Obviously, if you didn't already know.
Well.
Yes!
We're gonna talk about that legendary Dappa, bro!
Yeah! Dude, you weren't kidding. Y'all, I want to tell you this right now. Noah, when I was in the middle of watching Sonic 3 for the second time, because I watched it in theaters, and then I watched it again when I got home and watched it on Onion Plays, because at that point I was out of money. Noah, told me while I was in the middle of watching it, hey, tell me when you see the Dragon Ball references or the Dragon Ball inspired bits, and I'm like, oh yeah, I see it now. The fucking easily one of the coolest things I've ever seen in a fucking movie, and it's no fucking wonder why, it's no wonder why this movie was so highly praised. It was fantastic.
And the thing is, bro, the thing Paramount and Sega have been doing the right thing. Ever since that first trailer, the first Sonic movie, they've listened to the fans.
Yes, exactly. Because fucking imagine if we would have gotten that hideous fucking creature and an even more hideous shadow in this scene. That would have looked ugly as shit.
Yeah, but instead we got this beautiful masterpiece of basically taking the characters from the games, making them like fit in the real world, and it just real world, and it just works. It just does.
Yes,
Like look at
exactly.
my boy right there.
Fuck yeah. And dude, honestly, bro, okay, so you and I mentioned this like when you first watched Sonic 3, you told me this in Discord. You mentioned how Keanu Reeves as Shadow, like he wasn't at his best performance, but he still wasn't bad despite the fact that he's not used to this style of filmmaking.
Yeah. And
Keanu Reeves absolutely fucking brought dollars to donuts with this fucking movie. And yes, Keanu Reeves isn't exactly used to this style of film, voice acting and shit. He's used to, being on screen. But that doesn't matter. He still turned the fuck up and was like, "Yeah, no, I'm not gonna give it a half-assed effort just because this is a different style for me." No, straight up, Shadow's Keanu Reeves' performance as Shadow was easily one of the highlights of the fucking movie, and it was fantastic.
And bro, all the promotional material too is also just hilarious. Like, look at these four.
Yeah. Oh, that's an actual official promo thing? That's not like fan made? Oh,
Yes,
that's so
official.
much better! Is that them at the screening?
Yep, and there's even fucking made an advertisement with McDonald's.
Wait, seriously?
Yes, seriously. If you can find it, I'd recommend
Insert the clip. I will find that clip. Insert the clip.
Team Sonic is back at McDonald's. You can join them for a supercharged Happy Meal from the new Sonic the Hedgehog 3 movie. Only in theaters rated PG.
Únanse al equipo Sonic y Shadow en una carrera para supercargar la cajita feliz.
But, yeah, man. I genuinely can't really think of any bad elements of this movie that stand out, which, like I said, there's obviously going to be some minor imperfections in the movie because, again, no movie will ever be perfect. But yeah. I'm genuinely having trouble finding a genuine complaint about this movie, which is always a good thing. All right, like it's always a good thing when you need to like specifically search for something that's wrong with a movie in order to complain about it. And I'm not going to spend the time sitting here and just trying to find something to complain about. I'm sure there's going to be some retards who want to do that, but I'm not one of those guys.
And also, bro, is the fact is not only is this movie just overall good for even like non-Sonic fans that couldn't even like tell some references. This movie was just chock full of references.
Yeah.
Mainly. Okay, so you remember after the boys and their super forms destroyed all those fucking Gerald Robotnik bots, right? And they
yes, I do.
You know what that's a reference to?
I do not, because, real quick, let's establish this. Noah is much more of a Sonic fan than I am, so the fact that both of us agree that this movie is just fantastic is just a testament to how good it is.
That specific pose is just straight up a callback to Sonic Adventure 2, where Shadow first appeared and they struck this.
Oh shit, I didn't even know that! See, this is why movies need to be more open to the idea of like following the source material more, because when you follow the source material, then Obviously the super fans are going to enjoy it, and the source material is iconic for a reason, so there's a good chance that people who aren't familiar with the franchise are also going to enjoy it.
And even then, bro, even with the subtle references to again, you're right. They followed the source material, but also made their own story out of it.
Yes, because I do remember before this movie came out, you showed me the story of Shadow the Hedgehog and how different it is from this movie compared to the source material. It's a very nice example of how to retell a classic story for modern audiences without butchering the name.
And even then, bro, I didn't even tell you the full thing of it. There's still so much more to him.
Yeah, I know. I'm well aware.
Yeah. Which, also, here's a little funny thing. One of my friends that's definitely more of a Sonic fan, but, he knows about Godzilla and shit, and he said, hey, do you think Maria would like Godzilla? And I said, movie Maria would. Want to know why?
Why?
Because in those flashback scenes, you know what movie? The movie that, Maria and Shadow were watching?
What movie?
That, of course, it was a monster movie, right? Of course, right?
Wait, what? Seriously? What?
Yeah.
Were they watching a MonsterVerse movie?
Not a monster. Well, no, they're in the 70s, bro.
What movie?
But okay, the reason I say I believe that she would like to watch a Godzilla movie was because the movie they were watching was, of course, a monster movie, but that in itself was a reference to another point in Sonic Adventure 2, which I lovingly call Shadow's older brother.
What?
The Bio Lizard.
Oh no! Oh no! Okay.
Which
Okay.
was a point in a Sonic Adventure to where it was the final boss of the game.
Well, shit.
And they cheekily got it in the movie just by having it as a reference on a smaller black and white film.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Straight up, that's awesome.
And bro, okay, I'm gonna say this last thing before I continue on. At the end, when it's just Super Shadow left, and he's trying to push the Eclipse Cannon.
Yeah.
You know what before he pushes it? For so long have I just been wanting for this boy to take off his inhibitor ring.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. I don't exactly know how much. I don't exactly know all of the lore. Again, you're a bigger Sonic fan than I am, but I do vividly remember you sitting here saying that when he does this shit, it does not end well for who he's about to go up against.
Yeah, and look in. Only time he's ever done this is like 20 years back. He took them off and just he fucking plowed through everything. And then last time, the last ever time we actually got him taking off his inhibitor rings was in a Sonic series, a Sonic anime, which again is still old as fuck. And bro, oh my god, I waited for this so long. However, the only thing that disappointed me was that it was never really made mention. That was just a little thing he did at the end to gain the extra power to push away the Eclipse Cannon.
Yeah. Yeah, which, can we talk about the Eclipse Cannon for a second? The fucking explosion. The explosion. That massive. It was definitely bigger than the moon, but like you said, we don't actually know how far away we don't actually know how far away Shadow pushed the cannon itself away from the Earth. That explosion could have easily been bigger than the Earth.
It could have been. Because again, he took off his inhibitor rings, giving him more power in his super form.
Yep.
So, genuinely though, that is a shadow-powered explosion right there.
Yeah. And dude, can we talk about okay, I want to talk about my favorite aspect of this movie.
Go ahead.
Jim Carrey's performance as 2 Eggmen.
Oh yes.
That was
We
fucking
men.
amazing. I know that you said you didn't. I know that you said some moments didn't need humor, and I agree with you there. But brother, holy fuck, Jim Carrey just fucking sold the bread. I'm not even joking with you, man. That shit was priceless.
Which I'm not disagreeing. I genuinely am not. Like, when the moment called for it, yeah, that shit was hilarious, bro. Jim Carrey. And you know what's funny too, bro?
Yes.
He himself said he would come out of retirement if he was presented with a script written in gold. So
oh, was Sonic 3 his retirement movie?
technically it was supposed to be Sonic 2, but he came back for Sonic 3.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, okay, and honestly, dude, like, okay, let's talk about. Let's continue talking about Jim Carrey for a second. There is no fucking feasible way. Like, okay, I gotta say, I'm saying it right now. His 2 best performances in his entire career have got to be the Grinch, the live-action Grinch, and this movie's Sonic 3. Because holy fuck, this man playing 2 separate characters played by the same actor, which he even made a joke about in the movie, which was fucking priceless. But just the simple fact that Jim Carrey, his performance level was so good that he just made it feel natural for one guy to be playing 2 characters is uncannily fucking good. Like that takes some doing. Okay?
That takes some Jim Carrey, bro.
Yeah. it was just perfect because like even at the end of the movie, like his sudden turn to the light, which I gotta say was a hell of a lot more convincing than Scar's turn to the dark side in Mufasa. But Jim Carrey performing as Eggman, like basically turning to the light side and sacrificing himself to save the Earth was just amazing. And his final live stream message to his like butler, like
Agent
what is.
Stone.
Yeah, I know his name is Agent Stone, but like what is he? Like his assistant, his butler, like what is he
All
to
of
Eggman?
the above. All of the above.
Okay, so he's Alfred. Got it.
Yeah.
But just that final live stream that he made was just fucking glorious, and the fact that like you can genuinely tell that that Jim is having a great time playing this fucking character. If I can't rule the world, I might as well save it with a smile on his face, and fucking it was the greatest thing I've seen in a long time. Well, not the greatest thing I've seen in a long time because 2024 had some banger fucking movies, but you know what I'm saying. It was amazing.
Yeah, he was just phenomenal, bro.
Yeah.
Also, like, besides some of the serious stuff that the other characters do, which, I'm surprised that Shadow, of all people, had a comedic moment.
Yeah.
Revenge guac. I did not expect him to say that.
I wasn't either, but can you genuinely say that it's out of character for him, though?
No, not really. Honestly, no. It's just, I was not expecting it. And it's just... Revenge guac.
Revenge guac. That's like some shit you would hear Batman say. Or not Batman, but just the edgiest fucking character you've ever heard. It would say that shit. And, you know what, to be fair, is Shadow supposed to be edgy?
Not his original self, no. Not really.
Okay, well then we're fine then. Either way, it was priceless. And dude, just like the story presented here in Sonic 3, like again, as with Mufasa, I do feel as though the pacing of the movie could have been handled a little bit better, but honestly, to a much lower extent than Mufasa, because the pacing, while it is slightly off, you really aren't going to notice it unless you're specifically looking for it. And again, I'm not one of those guys who's going to comb over an entire movie and specifically look for a flaw in it. I'm not one of those people. So ultimately, it's not that big of an issue. And bro, the story being told with Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles and their journey to take down Shadow and the two Eggmen and Dave, what was his name? The friend of Sonic that got punched by Shadow?
Tom?
Tom, yeah, Tom. The story about them and their family and their loyalty to their family, combined with the same story being told from a different perspective in Shadow, who eventually turns to the light side. It's just phenomenal. I can't, like, there's really no other way to explain it. And genuinely speaking, I do think that this movie, like, okay, so I liked the first Sonic, and I liked Sonic 2, but not as much as the first one. I think this is the best out of the three movies so far.
Oh, trust me, bro. Everyone actually genuinely agrees with that statement alone.
Yeah. Okay, then. Well, then I'm not going to complain. But yeah, bro, just there's no denying that Sonic 3, even though Mufasa isn't a bad movie, there's no denying that Sonic 3 is just better in quality all the way around.
Yeah.
And with that being said, is there anything you want to say before we give our verdict on Sonic 3?
Live and learn! Living on the edge of tomorrow! Live and learn! Before we give our verdict, one thing I want to share from my first time viewing this for the early screening of Sonic 3. Bro, I'm proud of myself. Wanna know why?
Why?
I got everyone chanting "All Hail Shadow."
All Hail Shadow!
I'm so proud of myself.
Hold on.
And that is one of his.
Hold the fuck on. Alright. You wanted to go there. All hail Shadow, motherfucker.
Bow your heads down, all hail Shadow. Dan, dan. Bow your heads down, all hail Shadow. I just love the fact that he has a theme song just saying all hail Shadow. It's hilarious. Bro knows he's him.
Yes.
Oh, this was spectacular film.
Oh yeah, no, there's no denying that, bro. Sonic 3 was just a phenomenal movie.
10 out of 10. Yeah, no, I'm not denying
10 out of 10, okay.
Yeah, I love this film so much, just not only as a casual enjoyer, but just a Sonic fan in general.
Alrighty. Well, I will say you were a bit more generous than I was, probably because you're more of a Sonic fan than I am.
Yeah.
But brother, I'm gonna say it. It's an 8 out of 10. I love this movie. Absolutely phenomenal. Fantastic story, fantastic characters, and an even more fantastic conclusion.
You know, I'll take it.
Yeah. But now, with that being said, it is time to get to the comparison. So now we get to the final chapter of this video, and that is the comparison of these two movies, and why ultimately Mufasa did not perform as well as Sonic 3 at the box office. And there's actually a few reasons for that. One, the most glaring thing, is the fact that Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is just a better movie all the way around, okay? I will be the first to come to the defense of Mufasa and say that no, it's not a bad movie. It does have its problems, but it is genuinely not a bad film. It's pretty damn good. But Sonic 3 is just infinitely better. It has a better story. It has better performances. It has an overall better plot. And above all else, it doesn't have nearly as many pacing or, forced issues as Mufasa did. And I'm going to be real with you, dude. Mufasa, while yes, it is a good movie, I did ultimately end up enjoying Sonic 3 a lot more, despite the fact that I was more of a Lion King fan than a Sonic fan before I met you. So, I can't really say that, well, honestly, you're really the one who really introduced me majorly to the Sonic franchise, so I shouldn't have even brought that up. But, yeah, dude, Sonic 3 is just an overall better film, and Mufasa, despite its issues, is still not a bad movie. However, there's even more to this, because despite the fact that I am coming to bat for Mufasa here, ultimately, one of the biggest reasons why Mufasa flunked at the box office is because Disney made the dumbest fucking decision of their lives last year. Okay, so, Noah, do you know when the first, because I don't, this is why I'm asking you, do you know when the first Sonic the Hedgehog media, was ever released?
Like the first game and shit?
First game, first movie, what was the first thing that featured Sonic the Hedgehog, period?
I'm pretty sure it was in 1991?
Okay, so off the rip, an older series, so that's already going to be that's already going to guarantee that this series has more fans than The Lion King. Because, point blank, one of the biggest reasons why Sonic 3 outperformed Mufasa at the box office was because of the simple fact that the Sonic franchise is a much bigger and much more popular IP than anything Lion King has produced. I'm sorry, but Disney, what the fuck were you thinking? You guys released a Mufasa movie, a prequel movie that really no one was asking for, and you guys released it in direct competition with an IP that is 3 times popular at a lowball estimate than y'all's property. So, what the fuck were you thinking? I don't understand the thought process here. Either A, and this is the most likely possibility, was they were releasing Mufasa at the same time as Sonic 3 in the hopes that Sonic 3 was going to be a bad movie, and it ended up backfiring because Sonic 3 was a fantastic fucking movie. Or, secondly, and the least likely option, is they just thought Lion King products were on par with Sonic, which would just prove how stupid they fucking are if that is the case. I'm sorry, but I'm not even a major Sonic fan, and, I am a major Sonic fan now that I've met you, but, you've been a Sonic fan for much longer than I have been, and I've been a fan of The Lion King pretty much since I was 4 years old and since I watched the original movie, the original 2D animated one from the 90s. And even I fucking know that the Sonic franchise is essentially, comparing the Sonic franchise to Mufasa is essentially like comparing the size of Godzilla to a fucking Komodo dragon. There's no comparison there.
Damn.
I'm sorry, but there's just none, okay? I don't understand why the Disney executives thought that releasing this movie in direct competition with this property would have been a good idea. I genuinely can't get my head wrapped around that. So, yeah, in conclusion, Sonic 3 outperformed Mufasa simply because of Disney's bad decisions.
Hmm.
And because it was a better movie, but you know.
Yeah.
You will never hear me say Mufasa was a bad movie. That's not going to happen. You're not going to hear me say that. Again, I watched both of these movies in theaters. They were both fantastic. And ultimately, there's a clear winner in who gets the point for quality, which is Sonic 3. With that being said, though, Noah, is there anything you would like to say before we get out of here?
Well, the last thing I gotta say, bro, is bow your heads down, all hell shadow. Dun. Bow your heads down, all hell shadow.
Okay, I was expecting the prior musical number that you had sang a few times throughout the video before that one, but okay, I'm good with that.
Heroes rise again.
Damn it!
Obliterating everything that's not your friend. Nothing to stop you now. No goals to hold you down. Nothing left to lose. You win.
Holy fuck, do you have that whole song written on your heart?
What?
Do you have that whole song written on your brain?
Almost.
Like, do you just close your eyes and the fucking lyrics are in front of you?
Oh man, yeah, hey, it's a good song, bro. If anything,
I'm not saying it's not. I'm just asking a genuine question.
If anything, bro, Disney better be worried because one thing competing with their musical numbers, the badass soundtracks that motherfucking video games get.
Okay. Well, that's it for today's video, everyone. We'll see y'all in the next video, where me and Noah will be taking a look at our top 5 favorite movies of 2024.
Where you going? There you go.